welcome back to another reading. And if you guys are new here, hi, my name is Astra. I'm a tarot reader and I do tarot readings here on my channel. Today I am going to be doing the members Q&A, where my members get to ask me questions every single month. If you are interested in becoming a member and also participating in the monthly Q&A, I will have the link for the membership down below. But other than that, let's get started into the questions. Okay, so first question we have here is about Rosé and Bruno Mars. What's their relationship / friendship, and do they still keep in touch? So let's see. What is the current energy of Rosé and Bruno Mars? What's going on when it comes to their bond? Do they still keep in touch? Do Rosé and Bruno Mars still keep in touch? Okay, I'm just gonna get a few more cards over here. Anything else about Rosé and Bruno Mars? Anything else? Anything else? Rosé and Bruno Mars. Abundance. Resistance. Anything else about Rosé and Bruno Mars? Interesting. Look at the Six of Pentacles on that card. One more about Rosé and Bruno Mars. Darkness. Okay. All right. So I think it's my first time reading for Rosé and Bruno Mars, and I feel like their energy just has a lot to say. Okay. So first of all, I feel like when it comes to the two of them, I feel like there is a lot of give and take when it comes to their bond. Here with the Six of Pentacles and here with the acceptance, it's so crazy like how these hands are like both giving to each other. So I feel like when it comes to their bond, they both give so much to each other. I feel like Rosé has given a lot to Bruno Mars, and Bruno Mars has also given a lot to Rosé, okay? They both definitely give a lot of different things to each other, okay? I feel like for Rosé, there is a lot of things that probably she has learned from Bruno Mars. There is definitely a lot of growth and abundance when it comes to their bond. And I'm also here picking up the co-workers card, so they probably did do something together here with the Three of Pentacles. And so I do feel like they definitely grown a lot, you know, learning from each other and in other ways as well, okay, probably career-wise, okay? And I do feel like when it comes to Bruno Mars, it's almost like with the Ace of Wands here, Rosé brought to him some sort of spark or probably passion that probably died down in him a bit. And so I feel like she almost like gave him like this spark or this inspiration or passion, you know, for something again. So it's like almost like she gave him, you know, this spark, or like she gave him a feeling of old Bruno or a part of Bruno that has not awakened or has been a bit away for a while, okay? So I feel like it's almost like she awakened, you know, some part of him, or, you know, a side of him that he hasn't been, you know, in that much, okay? So when it comes to their bond, definitely I feel like there is a lot of goofiness as well. I feel like probably Bruno probably does have like that goofy side to him, while Rosé is like a bit more composed, quiet, shy, or, you know, a bit toned down. But I feel like he has like this childish energy. Maybe he likes to tease Rosé or do jokes or do certain things. So I feel like definitely when it comes to their bond, it was something that Rosé really did not expect. It was definitely something that she never thought in her wildest dreams, or didn't even think. So it was definitely like a nice change and a big opportunity, okay? Now when it comes to them contacting each other, I do feel like definitely they're really good friends. I feel like they really have this give and take bond. They both are really there for each other when it comes to giving advice. I feel like especially Bruno, like he does like have this thing when it comes to wanting to be there for Rosé. Like I feel like he even told her that anytime you want me or you want anything, just like I'm a call back away. So I feel like definitely like they do have this contact, but there's also this sense that it's not very close contact. Like it's not on a daily basis or weekly basis. It's like some call here and there. So I don't feel like it's, very much connected, but definitely they do have that minimal contact, okay? But I do want to mention something, that I feel like one of them does have a sense of resisting almost, okay, when it comes to the contact or getting extremely close, okay? Not that there's like anything bad when it comes to their bond or there's something wrong, no, but I feel like one of them is like really ahead. One of them is like really, has like this goofiness, going ahead. I feel like if it was up to that person that was really wanting to go ahead, things would have been probably really close between the two of them. I'm just gonna say that, okay? But there's another person where it's like sort of resisting that. Like they sort of sense that from the other person and they're sort of resisting that. And so that's why there's like a bit sense of a boundary, or not really crossing that boundary, okay? I'm also hearing in my head that, okay, things are good like this because that guy is crazy. Like, if it was up to him, things would have gotten way out of control, okay? So yeah. So definitely, like, there's like a crazy one between the two of them, like that has like this really high energy, while one of them is like a bit like, resisting things getting way out of hand almost, okay? Because if the other person like controlled things, you know, it can cause a problem, based on the other person, okay? We learn a lot from each other and are there for each other, and I feel like there is contact, okay? It's not like they're disconnected, but it's just like sometimes they call each other, for advice or talk about things, or, they show each other something cool that, they wanted to show the other, or, one of them is wanting to ask for feedback. So I feel like that's like the type of contact they have, but one of them is wanting to make a bit of a boundary, like it's not way too close between the two, okay? So let's get into the next question. Okay, next question is about Hyoseop and Sungkyung. Okay, I'm sorry if I'm saying their names wrong, but let's take a look about how are things, maybe their bond. Let's see, how are the things between Hyoseop and Sungkyung? Can we also get a bit about their bond? I'm not sure if I read for them before or not. I think this is my first reading on them, so let's see. Anything about Hyoseop and Sungkyung? Okay. Interesting. I'm just gonna get a few more cards over here. Anything else about Hyoseop and Sungkyung? Anything else about Hyoseop and Sungkyung? Whoa, that really flew. Creation. One more. Action. Okay. Okay, so when it comes to Hyoseop and Sungkyung, I feel like definitely when they're together, there is definitely a lot of nice energy. They are able to have fun together. I feel like they also gotten probably pretty close together when it comes to, their bond. I do feel like definitely their bond has definitely grown though, okay? I feel like there was a bit of a defense when it comes to their bond at the beginning. So I feel like maybe at the beginning they weren't as close. So almost when it comes to their bond, it has been definitely a growth process, that like they weren't just like close right away. It took some sort of bouncing out. It took some sort of growth, So I feel like they definitely were not as close at the beginning, but then they took things slow and steady, and then their bond grown, you can say, okay? So I feel like they grown like from not being too close into really close, and it definitely was like almost like a slow burn type of thing, okay? And so when it comes to their bond, I do feel like definitely there is a lot of supportive energy over here. They both really admire each other in a lot of different things, and I feel like with the guy and Hyoseop with the King of Cups, I feel like probably he can be a guy who has like this calm nature, but Lee Sungkyung probably can be the one in their bond where she, gives him power or gives him encouragement, or she's the type that makes the mood sort of playful almost, okay? Because there's like one that makes their bond playful and there's one that is a bit more calmer, okay? So I feel like probably he with power also maybe sometimes she would give him encouragement or power, or when he's down or he's not in the mood, like she like forces him like in a good way and encourages him and gives him power almost. So they both give each other power in a certain way and encourage each other in this certain way, and I feel like also they learn from each other a lot of things as well, okay? But there's also something that I'm picking up over here when it comes to their bond, okay? So I feel like one of them, when it comes to their bond, felt a little bit helpless when it comes to things that they want to say or maybe speak about, or they were feeling in the inside and they felt a bit helpless regarding, okay? Their bond was going, I felt really great at one point, like there was a lot of chemistry between the two of them, things were really great. And so things were going really well, like one of them sort of expected some certain developments or something happening, and so I do feel like something happened here with the tower and with the Five of Wands. I feel like some sort of tower moment happened where things did not go as expected, okay? Not necessarily that something happened between the two of them or they're on bad terms, no, that I do not mean it that way, but I feel like maybe one of them took action or they were getting way ahead that it scared the other person, and it turned out to be a sense of a loss or feeling, regret of taking that certain action, because you guys see the Knight of Swords going ahead and then the action card, and then something happened which is a tower moment, and then it led to certain loss, okay? So there's like this big self-reflection when it comes to one of them, okay, that almost like, oh, I do regret doing that, or I regret, doing that something. So yeah, I do feel like one of them, you know, was just like feeling things were going way too well between the two of them, and they probably took an action that scared the other person off. And so the way things are is right now, there's a lot of looking back. Like I feel like that person still hasn't forgotten, and it's not like, I just want to clarify, it's not like something bad happened between the two of them. I just feel like one of them sort of, you know, took a step away, okay? I feel like right now they still have a great bond. If they meet, they will have a great bond. But I just feel like, on a personal level, things are a bit, off. And I feel like especially one of them, like, it was something I feel like more indirect. Like, I don't feel like it was like a full action made and then the other person rejected or anything like that. I just feel like it was an action or an indirect action, and the other person sort of started drifting away or, maintaining distance because they were scared. And so I feel like it left the other person really, looking back or looking from afar away almost, and they definitely had a lot of self-reflection time, and I feel like even till this day they really think about it and they wish for another opportunity, maybe for them to work together again or to do something. So yeah, I feel like definitely one of them is like waiting for an opportunity or still like looking back at that situation and hoping, something can bring them, back again, okay? Because it's not like they have a personal problem, but it's just like, things like, you can feel the energy that one of them is like a bit drifting away, or one of them is starting maintaining a bit distance, okay? But yeah, like one of them is like almost like looking from afar, and I feel like they still keep an eye on the other, hoping for something. But yeah, but if they ever get a chance to maybe work together or something, I feel like things would be great, and I feel like that's what one of them is wanting and hoping for, okay? All right, next question is for Minho and Kim Goeun. Sorry again if I'm saying their names wrong. Let's see. What is the current energy of Minho and Kim Goeun? What is the current energy of Minho and Kim Goeun? Okay. So for Minho and Kim Goeun, I feel that definitely when it comes to the two of them, they have a lot of love and care for each other, okay? And I feel like even that came before in one of the readings I did, I believe. And I feel like definitely they care a lot about each other. There's definitely a lot of support and admiration that they have for each other, okay? There's definitely that constant support that they had for each other. And I feel like one of them always has seen the other person as someone they would want in their life for a really long time, okay? And so I feel like there was a bit of an indecisiveness at one point when it comes to their bond. And so I do feel like there was a little bit of a disconnection at one point, okay, with the Five of Wands and with the Eight of Cups. I do feel like there is maybe some time or maybe a couple months ago, or maybe things were not as balanced as they are right now, okay? Because I do feel a very strong connection right now. There is definitely close contact. There's almost like this new beginning and something that one of them manifested, and I feel like it's almost like they reconnected after a situation that happened to the two of them, okay? So I feel like definitely there is like a lot of new beginnings, new transformation energy when it comes to the two of them. It's like almost like they're starting fresh again, okay? Because I feel like there is this situation that happened over here which sort of made them a bit not as close, or maybe not as in contact. And so that did put a stop to things between the two of them for a bit. But I feel like it's almost like right now there's like this new beginning and they're back to connection again. So it definitely feels good for the two of them. Alright, I'm gonna see with these cards anything else for Minho and Kim Goeun. Yeah. See the time to go on the Eight of Cups. Anything else? Yep. The mending and the time to go, they make a lot of sense. Yeah, so like I said, there was a time where maybe things were not the best between the two of them, so probably one of them decided to disconnect things for a bit with time to go, okay? But again, I do pick up some sort of mending and them talking again and hanging out again, so definitely I do pick that up for the two of them. All right, so definitely like with the world as well, like there's like a sense of security, right? Like right now, like knowing that they mended and things are okay again, it's like almost like feeling this sense of security. Like they felt like something was missing and almost like feeling this security, okay? Because when it comes to their bond, like it's almost like no matter what the connection is, they feel great around each other, okay? And so I feel like one of them definitely wants to keep this bond like long term almost. Alright, now let's get into the next question. Alright, so let's see for Luke and Nicola. What is Luke and Nicola's current energy right now? Let's see. What is Luke and Nicola's current energy right now? Okay. What is Luke and Nicola's current energy right now? Alright. So when it comes to Luke and Nicola, they definitely no doubt like have a close friendship, okay? They have a great friendship, they're able to bond so well together. There is like this very close comfort level when they're around each other, and they're able to have so much fun. Like it's all like natural when it comes to the two of them, okay? But like I mentioned in my other Q&A readings as well, I feel like there was like a big situation between the two of them where they felt like at loss when it comes to their bond, and they were totally at different pages when it comes to how they want things to go or head, okay? So I do feel like there was at one point where they both were not at good terms and all of that, okay? The reason I'm getting this again is because I feel like they definitely do have a great friendship, and they're on good terms. There isn't anything bad, but I do feel like deep inside, what happened in the past still lingers till this day. Okay, with them still have what happened lingering inside when it comes to the two of them. Okay, so their bond is, they are able, to enjoy their bond, but there is like this one of them like feeling that things are not fully the same. Okay, they're great on the outside, but in the inside, one of them feels like things aren't the same after what happened, in the past. Okay, there's also one of them that is like being a bit careful or being a bit cautious. After that incident, they were a bit cautious, with their interactions and all that. So I feel like one of them is like still holding that, like, what if things would have been different? What if that situation didn't happen, and maybe things would have headed a different way? So one of them is like thinking about like what could have happened, like the what ifs. Okay, so their bond on the outside is great, but I just like feel like they both, deep inside, they're still, holding on to what happened in the past, in that situation. Anything else for Luke? Anything else for Luke and Nicola? Yeah, when they're together, you guys, they feel really homely. They feel like they're back to their home, their tribe. Okay, there's like this very big homely feeling when they're back with each other, or when they're working on their project. Okay, when they're working together, they just feel like it's like almost like home. Okay, and there's also like this sense of loss maybe to the project. Again, I don't know like if they're filming or not, or if they're almost done, but there's like almost like this sense of the project, that maybe when this project ends or finishes filming, like, is our bond gonna still stay connected or not? Because they both deep inside do still want to keep the connection. Okay, anything else when it comes to Luke and Nicola? Yeah. So when it comes to the two of them, I mentioned this before, like it's almost like they're yin and yang. Okay, like they fit so much together, they're very compatible. They're different in their own ways, but they're really able to balance each other out, and that's like the thing when it comes to the two of them. All right, but things are great on the outside, but I feel like in the inside, they're both like feeling this tension of what happened in the past. Okay, and so they're finding it a bit hard to be exactly the same way they used to be, probably last year. Okay, there is also a question regarding their future energy, so I'm gonna get into Luke and Nicola's future energy as well. Let's see, anything about Nicola and Luke's future energy, the close future? Anything else about Luke and Nicola's close future energy? Anything else about that? Yeah. So when it comes to their bond, I do feel like, still things being good between the two of them. But again, what I mentioned is still something that is gonna stay with them, almost like, unless they talk it out. Unless they talk it out, it's gonna be something that is like almost like a stamp on their heart or their back. Okay, so it's gonna stay with them unless like they talk it out. Like once they talk it out, like it's almost like they're gonna get closure regarding that situation. But also with the upcoming future energy, I do not really see them talking out. Okay, but I do see here with the Four Wands some sort of celebration happening or event happening. So maybe they will attend a celebration or event together or something like that. So I do see them partying and having fun and being happy. Okay, so there is gonna be, that connection. Maybe they are going to be able to talk a bit. Okay, with the Page of Cups. But again, I do feel like there is like a lot of unsaid things and hidden things that, is going to stay inside of them. Okay, but I do feel like they're still going to move forward when it comes to their bond. Like it's not like they're, you know that's gonna affect anything on the outside. But yeah, like I feel like what's happening in the inside is gonna stay there unless like they talk it out. Okay, I'm also picking like a sense of loss, but like moving forward. So again, I don't know if it relates to their project maybe finishing filming or anything like that, or them not seeing each other for a while. I do feel like that it's gonna feel a bit like, okay, we're back to this cycle. What is gonna happen now? Are we gonna still stay connected? Are we still gonna talk? And you know, moving forward from there. Okay. But yeah, like I do see, celebration, it would be fun for them. Okay. All right, next question is for Luke and Antonia's current energy. Okay, so let's take a look into Luke and Antonia's current energy. Those popped right out of the deck. Okay. Regarding Luke and Antonia. I'm also gonna get from this deck over here anything else for Luke and Antonia. Okay. Anything else for Luke and Antonia? The void. Okay. So when it comes to Luke and Antonia, guys, I do feel like there has been an effort when it comes to their bond to probably spend time or, do certain things together or, almost like fix their bond. So there has been like a bit sense of an effort from one of them, to fix things or, to make things a bit better, because mostly like when it comes to their current energy, it comes a bit deep or it comes a bit down. Okay, so there's like this sense of, yes, like there has been effort to fix things when it comes to their bond or spend time and all of that, but there's still something that is like a void. Okay, all right, when it comes to their bond, like one of them does like have like that sense of passion and wanting to continue things and all that, but there is like that sense of void, like something is missing, but they're like still continuing. Okay, okay, so there's like definitely a bit sense of like unstableness here as well here with the Hanged Man. Okay, but definitely like there is like emotional hesitation and there's like a sense of hesitation when it comes to openness as well. Like I feel like they do not really sit and like open up to each other and tell each other what bothers them, or I feel like they don't have that like close knit true openness. Okay, so I feel like there is like this sense of block, like okay, they're doing certain things like almost that normal couple should do, but there is like that still that sense of blockage. Okay, there is like a sense of a void. Okay, I feel like there definitely has been effort, to fix that, but something is still missing. Okay, and so yeah, definitely there has been effort. Like I'm seeing an effort that has been made, for things to balance out, but it's like almost like something that is being managed and like moving naturally almost. Okay, so it's like almost like trying to work out something more than it like moving naturally. Okay, but yeah, that's what I'm getting for the two of them. Okay, like still there's a sense of hanged up energy over here. All right, when it comes to the two of them, I feel like there needs to maybe be like more like true communication. I feel like there is certain areas that they try to focus on, but I'm also like feeling that communication is key and they cannot really be really truly open when it comes to how they both feel. Okay, so let's get into the next question. Now for Nicola and Jake. What is Nicola and Jake's current energy right now? What is Nicola and Jake's current energy right now? Okay. So when it comes to Nicola and Jake, I do feel like definitely when it comes to their bond, there is like a lot of aspects where they do a great job at like balancing it out, okay? I feel like when it comes to the emotional connection, they both are there for each other emotionally. There's like a lot of comfort when comforting each other emotionally and being there for each other. And also I feel like career wise, they are there to support each other career wise and talk about career as well, and be there for each other and encourage each other. So when it comes to the emotional and career side, I feel like they both are there for each other a lot, okay? There's like definitely a lot of support and balance from both sides, and I feel like when one of them gives something, the other does give as well. So there is like a bit of a give and take when it comes to their bond, okay? There's definitely a lot of love and care as well, okay? But I feel like things are great when it comes to their bond, their dynamic on I guess on a surface level. But I feel like they also view their bond as something good, but one of them is hiding something. One of them is feeling unbalanced, and there's certain things that they are feeling, but they're also locking it inside, okay? It's almost like this feeling of feeling that something is missing, or feeling that something is not fulfilling them exactly. It can be like in one of the areas. Like I feel like when it comes to the emotional and supportive areas, when it comes to the career, things are well, but I do feel like there is something that one of them is like holding in, and they're feeling a bit dissatisfied about that, but they're holding that in, okay? And they're just like moving on, like everything is fine, and with a smile on their face. So on the outside, I feel like even between them, they don't see that anything is wrong, but I feel like because I'm picking their energies, even what's inside of them, one of them is feeling something that they haven't still opened up. Like they're locking it inside, and they do not want to speak it out because they feel like maybe that can make things a bit unbalanced between the two of them. So they're just keeping that in, okay? Um, but yeah, I feel like there can be a bit of a transformation when it comes to their bond. Like either maybe this thing being a bit, discussed or revealed, like one of them can reveal that, which can cause a bit of a transformation or change when it comes to their bond in some sort of way, okay? But yeah, that's what I'm picking for Nicola and Jake. Alright, so now for Abhishek and Manisha. So recently Manisha appeared on Abhishek's show, and it was received very well by the audience, and it was trending. Have Abhishek and Manisha been offered any projects together after Manisha appeared on Abhishek's show? Okay, so let's see. I remember in their last reading, I did pick up some sort of project. I don't know if it was like between the two of them, like a talk, or it was a project offered to them. But let's take a look. Have Abhishek and Manisha received a project offer after Abhishek's game show? Have Abhishek and Manisha gotten project offers after Abhishek's game show? Let's see. Okay, so yes, definitely things have been discussed to working together further. Okay, so I feel like definitely things have been offered for them, to the point that they discussed about talking, of working on things together even more. So I do feel like definitely things have been offered. In fact, like multiple things, okay? Multiple things have been, talked about. I feel like especially after Abhishek's game show, a lot of producers, a lot of people were like, oh my god, we have to try to get Abhishek and Manisha to do something for us, okay? Because Abhishek and Manisha do like have a sense of like luck when it comes to being together, okay? There's like that sense of almost like a lucky charm, or they do like have that thing about them, okay? And so I feel like definitely a lot of producers, a lot of people definitely contacted them. I feel like at least 3 have been discussed with them, okay? But I feel like when it comes to Abhishek and Manisha, I feel like they are definitely gonna choose things wisely. Like I mentioned, yes, they definitely have done a big step of showing their bond again on social media, but the fear is still there, okay? The fear is still there, especially with one of them. They still, have fear of judgment, okay? They have fear of, you know people, saying too much, okay? Definitely they have been happy, definitely, with the support, okay? And it definitely brought a lot of memories to the two of them, especially probably them being trending probably brought a lot of memories. But yeah, I feel like definitely they are considering things when it comes to projects, but definitely I feel like things have been talked about, collaborating or doing things in the future as well, okay? So I feel like they're definitely right now never saying never to anything, but I feel like, things are still being discussed, okay? And I also feel like they're gonna be quiet about it unless like things are fully confirmed. So when things are confirmed, they're gonna talk about it. If things are not confirmed, I feel like they're gonna stay quiet about it because it's almost like, they don't want to say anything until it's like fully confirmed. So if you guys hear from them, then it's definitely something that is confirmed when it comes to the two of them, okay? But if not, then probably they decided to not do it, okay? Let's see, next question is their friendship still deep or has it loosened up? Because right now it seems that they are not as close as they used to be. Okay, let's see. Are Abhishek and Manisha still close or not? Is their friendship still deep? Is Abhishek and Manisha's friendship still deep? Okay. So when it comes to their bond, like I mentioned in my other readings, I feel like they're definitely in contact. Okay, I've said that like for months. They are definitely in contact. Like if they do not show it, it doesn't mean that they're not in contact. They're definitely in contact, and there is a lot of times where they both, talk with each other regarding certain things. Okay, definitely sometimes they are not able to when they're burdened with work or they're burdened with life, and they have things going on when it comes to their life. They are not able to obviously talk on a daily basis or every week. Sometimes they get really busy, they cannot talk every week, okay? They still have like this really, care when it comes to their bond, and definitely they do have like that emotional connection still. But definitely it's not like it's not that deep, but it's just that, they got busy with life, and so there's times where like they talk or check up weekly, and there's times where it sometimes becomes once a month. So it's like honestly based on what happens, okay? And I feel like right now, based on the current energy, they do seem pretty happy when it comes to their bond. Like I feel like they do have a great contact right now, based on the current energies, okay? So the question is like, is their bond not as deep as before? I feel like based on my readings, I don't know exactly what happened, but I feel like based on my readings, when it comes to when I first read for them, they used to talk on a very, very daily basis. So I would say it's not daily basis right now. So I guess it's not as close as being daily basis, okay? But it doesn't mean that their bond or care for each other has died or is any less, okay? But it's just that sometimes they do not have the time to talk on a very um active basis, okay? But yeah, I feel like especially probably with, what happened recently, I feel like they're definitely talking about it a lot. There's a lot of things that they're discussing. So yeah, I feel like right now they do have a great contact, honestly. But it changes from time to time. Sometimes like it's once a month, sometimes it's every week, sometimes it can be um a couple times a day. Yeah, like it really changes, okay? But yeah, sometimes they get busy with life, and they do not want to force it. They want things to happen naturally, and if they happen naturally, that makes them happy, because once they start forcing it, it's not as genuine. And so like I mentioned before, they want it to happen naturally, okay? All right, last question over here is Is Abhishek uncomfortable when people link his name with Manisha? Okay, so let's take a look. Is Abhishek uncomfortable when it comes to when people link him with Manisha? Okay, so the answer is very clear, okay, but I just wanna, explain it a bit, okay? So he is uncomfortable with the whole shipping thing, not just with Manisha. I feel like with, maybe multiple women he has got linked up with. It has become like almost like this trauma for him, this fear for him, okay? Because there is so many bad things probably that happened or bad memories that were linked to shipping and all of that, and he probably received a lot of hate, and it's just something that is not great. It makes him stress, and sometimes it even made him stay up at night, you know, and being pretty upset from certain hate or stuff like that. Like I said, Abhishek is sensitive and sometimes he can get pretty affected, okay? And the whole thing when it comes to him and Manisha, and they kept their bond off of social media because felt like their bond is not needed to be shown on social media anymore when where everyone can judge it, okay? So is he uncomfortable when people ship him with Manisha specifically? No. Like, he has no problem with Manisha specifically. It's just the whole shipping thing. So, I feel like he doesn't like shipping, or he might seem uncomfortable because he overall dislikes the idea of shipping, is what I'm feeling. Like, it gives him the ick. It makes him feel uncomfortable. Like, why do people have to ship, and it also brings him bad memories almost, of a time when he was down, okay, or probably put a smile on his face, but he wasn't actually happy. So yes, it makes him uncomfortable, but not specifically with Manisha, okay? Definitely when they both came out, like, he knew certain things probably, or shipping might start, or some people might link them again, but he still decided to take that step, because they both talked about it, and he was comfortable with doing it with Manisha because he knows his bond with Manisha. They kept their bond private and secretive for a while, so he knows what their bond is. But yeah, all right, he's uncomfortable with the whole shipping thing, okay? Not specifically with Manisha. All right. And that's the Q&A. Really hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. I would love to hear you guys' feedback in the comments, and I really hope you guys enjoyed, and thank you so much for the members that are a part of this Q&A. And again, if you guys would like to join, I will have the link down in the description below. And if you guys like this video, please make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I hope to see you guys next time. Bye!